definitely the best thing.
So let's go back a little bit on the history of Sam Sylk. Okay, how did you get into radio?
Man, I got into radio basically, man, in the basement. It's not a story to say to be entertained, but I was just, I would listen to the radio to legends like Tom Joyner, Doug Banks, and other radio personalities, and I would actually make a radio show on a cassette and sit and listen to it, record the commercials off the radio, even so it can sound authentic. You know what I mean? And then I would just start DJing around the neighborhood, and one day a young lady by the name of Marcella was like, "Hey Sam, you need to come to my school. I can probably get you on this radio station. This is IIT." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And she was like, "No, for real." So it was about 50 watts in Chicago, and it was at IIT, which is like right in the middle of all the projects. Stateway, you all seen the high rises, and I'm thinking I'm just really on the air for the college students. But all the hood started listening. And I started passing out the flyers.
Okay.
We on there mixing, and we was crazy, and we would actually be on the air when we weren't supposed to be on.
Okay.
And one day, man, one of the Jammin' Dave Mike was Reggie Brown, who's in Milwaukee, was like, "Man, you need to," at the time he was at GCI, he was like, "Man, you need to look at doing this for real." I was like, I wasn't thinking I would, probably one day really be on the radio. And he was like, "No, for real." And then Doug Banks, he was a guy, I called him, pranked him one day.
Okay.
He was like, "Man, you really probably need to look at doing this."
Okay.
And there you have it, man. I left there, I started making noise, and I said, "Well, hell, I'm going to go to school." So I went to Kennedy King College, and they had actually more wattage, was on the radio, and I left and went to Mississippi, packed up inside of in a car that I was still paying on. I was on the station, was only paying me $650 a month.
Okay.
I'm sitting up there sleeping in my ride, washed up in the Burger King bathroom just to get in the game.
Okay.
And from there it just went on. I moved from there, here, and the story goes on and on.
Okay.
But that's pretty much how I got in. By those two schools were actually one schools and two college radio stations, and my first station was in Columbus, Mississippi, and then from there to Arkansas and Oklahoma and Fort Wayne, Indiana, and of course Chicago, and and then I think Cleveland. When I came to Cleveland, that's when I just went full fledged, because it was like they told me again, "I don't know if you should really go to Cleveland. You here at the crib." I was like, "You know what? I'm doing good in Chicago, but I want to do it somewhere else." And always, I was an Indian. I'm a baseball head, so I was an Indians fan.
Okay.
For a long time.
So
number one Cubs, but I always
Sox
hell no, not the Sox. I'm sorry, Shy, but y'all know I'm a Cubs head. And
So what side of Chicago?
South side. And the Cubs on the north side, as y'all know. But man, please.
Okay.
They can't even sell tickets to a Sox game.
Okay.
So it was, and then when I flew, it was the right time. It was like God do some things in our lives where we know it's Him, and a lot of times He allow us to do, to do us. But when He plants something, when He sets the tone, and you follow His path, and He opened up the door for me to come to Cleveland, I knew it was right from the moment I got the call. Even though they was telling me, "No, this and that," even though the offer, and it was more money to stay at home at the time. But I did that by faith, and it helped me get my craft together. I say Fort Wayne and here. It just took me on a whole nother level in order to come to a city that at the time, pretty much didn't nobody know who Sam Sylk was. So that was a great challenge, because again, I told you before, it was like you can't do, you're not stopping to work. It was a great challenge for me to do that, and I said, "No, I want to go there and I want to do it. I like the city, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I know a few people there. Why not?" And it was one of the best decisions I probably ever made in my career. Was coming and stepping out on faith, and with that, I was doing both cities, Chicago and Cleveland, at one point.
Okay, so here's a question for a man that's on the radio right now, and there's a lot of independent acts. One, it's a two-part question. One, why is it that let me go back and preface it.
Okay.
We've been dealing with this for years, as even when I was in the making music and doing all that, we've been dealing with this for years. The radio station is not showing the love that people go to other places and they say, man, they playing their locals. Not let's just take Atlanta, New York, and California and LA out the deal for a minute. Other places, they automatically, if it's a hot record on the street, they're playing it on the radio. Okay. One, why isn't the radio showing love? We get it from the inside instead of always being on the outside, playing inside. Why is the radio station not showing love, or perceived to not be showing love to the local artists here? One. And number two, is it something more that the local artists could be doing to get their music played?
That would be on both parts. One, I want to let everybody know, radio personalities don't pick their music. My music, I'm on my way to the station a little while, so I already laid it out. It's a two-part question. Two-part, I got a bunch of answers. One, every city, even Atlanta, New York, Chicago, all these cities, even though some of these cities do play locals, other locals say the same thing, they don't get no support from the radio station. That's just everywhere you go. Everywhere they say that. Because if one artist get on, sometimes artists feel that that the station don't need to play any other popular music, just play all local music. If the station played all local music, they're not going to have any ratings. It's no diss, it's just real. I say it's two that needs to be. I'm a real person. Do I believe that radio needs to play more locals? Yes. Do I believe that locals need to do more? Yes. Locals need to do more by, I'm going to start with the locals first. Locals need to do more by marketing their music. Hard, not dependent on...
Okay, now, for people who don't know what the difference between marketing, promotion, or don't even know what marketing and what promotion is, explain it to them. Because they hear that, people say, you need to market, right. But people think they know, but they...
Get it out there outside of your set, outside of off of Huff, outside of St. Clair. The whole city needs to be hearing your music. The whole city needs to be, they need to know who you are. You need to get out there and get some of these club DJs to play your music. Get some of these, do what you need to do with ringtone. Do what we're doing now. We on the net. You got to find some type of way to brand yourself. You have to brand yourself to force radio. And this is how I'm getting into radio now.
Brand.
A brand is like McDonald's, okay? No matter how much money McDonald's make, they continuously brand themselves, okay, with the fish fillet. Everyone knows, I don't care what McDonald's adds new to it, they got a fish fillet. We know they coming out, when St. Patrick's Day, they coming out with the Shamrock Shake. You know, around this time of the season, they coming out with the double fish fillet. You know, they got a Big Mac. You know, you follow where I'm going here? You got to constantly market and brand yourself. Brand yourself where people who are not your friends, who are not in your hood, know who you are. Use the internet, use Facebook, get out here and find a way. Be creative on at one point, ringtones, they still hot. Ringtones is a way. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I got my own ringtone. Call me arrogant, but if somebody can buy Puffy's ringtone, how come I can't have my ringtone on my phone? So when people, you out and they just hit, you know, if it's Chip the Ripper and you got it on your phone, you out, so what? You know, it's a way to market yourself. Now, that being said, that will put radio, it'll force them to be like, damn, this dude is hot. This cat is hot. She's hot. We gotta be on this record. You know what I'm saying? This is not just for Cleveland, this is for any market. In Chicago, if you all are watching, you know, you all pretty much seen a huge movement in local acts. I will give my props to that city. Okay, do I want to see more of that happen here? Yes, I do. I ain't the man in charge. This is corporate radio. Corporations own radio stations now. And a lot of these people, I'm keeping it in the raw, a lot of these people in corporate radio don't live the lifestyle of what we do here on the streets. They just making stock market decisions and what they think we like. But we have to continuously push and market ourselves to the point where they be like, hey, I think that's hot. Maybe we need to get, I'm just keeping it real.
Now, if they have limited funds, okay, we said internet is a good place to start.
It's a good place.
And the ringtones, they can go to CD Baby and get all